Good evening and welcome to episode 38 of the Vegan Hour. This is Tuesday, November the 7th, and my guest tonight is Emma Ives from Vegan.Switch. Thank you for being here, Emma. Now, as you guys are coming online, and as is usually the custom, I'd like to mention events that are coming up. And I'm just going to have a quick look at how we're looking here as well. Let's just check that everything is looking good. And oh yes, brilliant, excellent. Okay, and already the comments have come up. Woo, quick. That's quick, Donna. Thank you. Hi, Donna. Okay, so a couple of events I want to mention. This Sunday, November the 12th, is the first birthday for the Brisbane vegan markets. Have you been up to the Brisbane vegan? Yeah. They're pretty good.
Best donuts.
Oh, yeah, donuts. Oh yeah. So that's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Corner of Boundary Road and Russell Street, West End. So that's this Sunday, the first birthday for the Brisbane vegan markets. And the comments are coming in there. Stephen says, hi, Harry and Emma. Hey, Steve. That's Steve from Flower Life Bakery. And Gavin says, love it, you, Emma. Good on you, Gavin. The love is just thrown out there everywhere. Now, the following Sunday, seeing as we've got Emma here tonight, the following Sunday, Emma is having, tell us about what you're having at the greenhouse. You're having
Oh, it's my vegan anniversary.
Vegan anniversary of
21 years.
21 years. That is amazing. That is congratulations. That is fantastic. So we thought we'd mention that we'd put it out there as an invite if people wanted to come along.
Yeah, if you're on the Gold Coast, it's on the Gold Coast Vegan Friends as of an event. And if you're on the Gold Coast and you want to come, just click yes, I'm coming. And it's at Greenhouse at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. on Sunday, the 19th of November. So that's on the Gold Coast Vegan Friends Forum. So the event is on there. And yes, it's at my favourite.
My favourite too.
And your favourite. Great minds think alike. At our favourite vegan restaurant. Now, Naresh says, Harry, another beautiful vegan lady. All vegan women are beautiful. Yeah. That's it, isn't it?
Younger, better looking.
That's right. Yeah, fit, healthy, better humour, the whole lot. Donna says, wow, Emma, no wonder you look gorgeous. Because you've been vegan 21 years. That's why you look gorgeous. Amit says, hello, guys. Boy, the comments are coming in. And you're even getting happy 21st from John and from Amit. That's fantastic. You guys are on the ball tonight. I love it. So, okay, tonight, what we're going to be talking about is, for starters, it's wonderful to have someone that's been vegan as long as you've been on the show, which is fantastic. We're going to be talking about the fact that Emma is also a personal trainer. She is a qualified nutritionist, and she is starting a business, or is about to launch a business soon, called Vegan.Switch. Yeah. So we're going to find out all about Vegan.Switch. And guys, I want your input. I want questions. I'll give you some little prods there, like what's it like being vegan for 21 years and things like that. So ask some questions, and we're getting happy birthday, Emma, and it's all coming in. So, okay, I want to find out a little bit about who Emma is, and I want to find out about your vegan journey, why you went vegan, and why you went vegan so long ago, which is fantastic. So can we start at the beginning, and maybe of your, what inspired you to go vegan?
I just knew I didn't want to eat animals. I don't actually remember there being a set point.
Right.
I know that I started cutting different meats out as a kid. So
right. I might get you just to talk up a little bit more.
Sorry.
So as a kid, you were cutting out.
So I cut out, I think pork went first, then lamb, and then I think I was down to like fish fingers and chicken.
Okay.
And eventually I threw a tantrum and I said, I'm not eating these anymore. I told my parents that I wanted to be vegan. I didn't really eat dairy anyway. I told my parents that I wanted to be vegan, and they sort of said, fine.
Oh, so your parents were okay?
They said, fine.
Yeah, okay.
But you're cooking all of your own dinners forever because we're not cooking 2 meals.
Forever.
So I went, no problems.
Okay.
I actually had a bet with my dad, $50 bet, that I would last a week because he's like, well, it's just a phase.
So he bet $50 that you would only last a week?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and so at the end of the year, I was like, give him my $50. So yeah, back then, like this is obviously so long ago, it's before the internet. I actually went to the library and got out all the food encyclopedias and sat on the floor with all the food encyclopedias and food dictionaries, writing out all the ingredients that I couldn't eat, all the things I had to look for. And just I had this big long list that I would take to the supermarket and know what I could and couldn't eat. back then there wasn't foam meats. You couldn't
That's
really
right.
get vegan chocolate. There was only one brand of vegan ice cream, which was the So Good one, which I don't like.
That's right.
It was horrendous, so I
Yes.
just didn't eat ice cream for years.
Yeah.
And ice cream's like my second favorite food. Yeah, it was just harder then.
What's your first favorite food?
Mangoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love
So
mangoes.
mango ice cream would
No,
be... No.
fruit flavored things. No, that's wrong.
Interesting.
You have fruit and then you have like chocolate peanut butter ice cream. The two shouldn't mix.
Okay. Just before, there's been quite a few comments coming up there, so I'm just going to interrupt you there. Amit said, the comments disappeared, but he said, could you flex your guns?
Can't flex my gun. No, we're not doing that one today.
No, you missed out, Amit. Donna says, Emma, I've been vegan for 6 years and I'm a fat vegan. Help me. Well, actually, Emma can help you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they kind of, it's still what goes in and what goes out. So yes, you're eating vegan food. It's not necessarily healthy. Like we definitely have junk food vegan. Junk food vegan food. Yeah. Harry's just really lucky he has a crazy fast metabolism we've got here. It's like saying that.
Not anymore. It's a crazy slow metabolism now. I've ruined it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, you still need to eat the right amount of calories, and obviously you might want to look at what's your macros, so your fats, your proteins, and your carbohydrates are looking like.
Yeah, that's a good general help there. Yes.
Yeah.
How was it? Amit asks, how was it to be vegan 21 years ago? Well, that's actually what we started talking about here.
Yeah.
Not many options. So let's go. Sarah says, hope your dad paid the $50.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, at the end of the year, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay, so let's go. So we were talking about the fact that you had to research. You didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
So you had to, all of this sounds very familiar because I went through a similar thing myself.
Yeah.
But you didn't have the internet, so you were researching through the library. You were finding out what ingredients were suitable.
Yeah.
And then you were going with your checklist to the supermarket.
Yeah.
And you were making sure that you were doing the right thing. And of course, the options were limited, weren't they?
Absolutely. Like even pasta sauce back then, I don't know if you remember, but all the pasta sauce used to have chicken stock in it. So like,
Actually,
even just the tomato pasta.
I don't remember that. But then,
Yeah.
so if I don't remember it either, I probably wasn't having pasta sauce.
So
because,
that's, I mean, you guys asked how it was being vegan. I cook everything from scratch. My stock from scratch, my pasta sauce from scratch, all of my sauces from scratch. Because back then it was so hard to get them that I just learned how to make it all. So yeah, I'm a really good cook now.
Yes. So why isn't your 21st anniversary at your place with
Because
your
I have
wonderful
I have
food?
a tiny apartment, so I can't fit everybody in.
That's the reason why. There you go. So it has to be at the best vegan restaurant on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Yes, that's okay. So did you transition overnight, or you were actually saying you did initially as a kid you weren't, where you were sort of you were slowly removing things?
Yeah,
right?
I was taking away what I could get away with. So I never really ate a lot of dairy as a kid. It used to make me sick. And I cut out the meats that I could sort of get away with without getting in trouble by my parents, because I was really little. And then
How young would you have been when you started
when I
doing this?
completely 8,
You were 8 when you. That's good. You had a good realization from the heart.
but like
Fantastic.
when I actually said no, I'm being vegan, I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's really good, and and also really fantastic that your parents supported it.
Oh,
I mean,
I was a very headstrong child.
you're a
Not
very
much has changed.
you're a very oh, you beat me to it. You're a very headstrong adult.
Yeah.
It had to start somewhere, didn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, and okay, so they're like, okay, we can fight this, or we can just let her win.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Because it was that, or I just wasn't going to eat. Because my parents are English, so it was like meat and 3 veg. So I'd eat my potatoes and I'd eat my veggies, but I'd just leave the meat, and it was just literally going to the dogs every single day.
Fair enough.
So,
Naresh says something about, are your vegan sweets going to be available in the UK? I don't know what that's about, Naresh. I didn't know you were doing vegan sweets. I think you've got the wrong program.
oh, maybe he thought you said vegan sweets instead of Vegan.Switch.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Vegan.Switch, which we're going to be talking about, not vegan sweets. So it's Vegan.Switch. It's helping people to become vegan easily,
Yes.
isn't it? Yes. Okay, so Emma has introduced me to some vegan food, and it's so yummy, says Vinny.
Yeah.
Woohoo! All right. And Amit says, so you were cooking food by yourself at the age of 12?
Yeah, I was cooking food a lot younger than that.
Yeah, kids can cook.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are allowed near hot things. That's all right.
And sharp things, and even blunt things. They're allowed near all of those things. 8 years old and a self-realized vegan. Kudos, says John. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't vegan at 8.
At 8,
Yeah,
but
it
you
was
were
just starting to cut animals
starting to
out.
come. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, one of the things you mentioned, and it's something that I've noticed, is how much it has changed in supermarkets.
Mm-hmm.
And you're mentioning, you know, that's even the pasta sauce had chicken stock. I can't remember that. I don't know if I was having. I obviously must have been because I don't remember. You know, anyway, we'll get past that.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is now, one of the things is that even if you go into Coles and buy the Coles brand fruit juices, they actually say suitable for vegans.
Yeah.
On the back. It shows you how much it's changed.
Yeah.
That they've actually done that. That's amazing, isn't it?
And especially like as a woman, like makeup.
Makeup.
I used to have like 2 brands of makeup that I could buy from, and now you can walk into any number of stores where I live in Burleigh, and they have so many makeup brands. Like I have so many different brands in my makeup bag. It's brilliant.
And it's you're not looked at in a strange way when you ask,
Yeah.
is the makeup cruelty free?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, certainly we've got some here for you.
Yeah.
So it's become a recognised market, but it's also become veganism has become a very recognised lifestyle and social movement, hasn't it?
We've gone from 4% to 11% in the last 20 years.
That's an interesting statistic. Where's that? Is that Australia?
In Australia, we've gone from 4% to 11% in 20 years.
Now, actually, this is, I want to pick this statistic apart. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's okay. I only read it this morning because I'm in the middle of writing my stuff for Vegan.Switch.
Yes,
and,
okay.
Yeah.
So we've gone from, are you saying 4% of the population?
Being vegan.
Yeah, to 11%?
Who identify as vegan or vegetarian, yes.
Can I would love to get
my source on that.
Your source on that one. Yes, because if that's true, that is way higher than I've heard.
Yeah. The UK is only about 4%. US is about 5%.
But you're saying Australia is 11%.
Mm-hmm.
We're ahead of the UK and the US. Wow, I'm speechless. I'd actually like to. Can you remember off the top of your head the source?
I think it came out in so the Global Nutrition Assessment came out on yesterday.
Okay, global.
Which is the worldwide assessment of all nutrition, like malnutrition, obesity.
Yes.
And all the countries get together because they have nutrition goals. And yeah, I think it was on that because that's what I was reading.
Okay. The Global Nutritionist Assessment.
Yeah, because I've got to write my analysis on it, and so I was reading the notes.
I've got to research that. If anyone wants to, while you're watching, have you? Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, please do.
You can have my notes and assessment when it's done too.
Excellent. Score. Yes. This is good.
Very boring science, but
yeah. You're very studious, aren't you?
Yeah, I've spent far too long at uni.
Yeah. Talking about which, you're a qualified nutritionist.
Yes.
So, what does that involve to become a qualified nutritionist?
Well, I went to uni and studied dietetics. So it's a 4-year nutrition and dietetics degree, and I hated being a dietitian.
Mm-hmm.
And as a dietitian, you have to practice under certain guidelines, which I don't ethically agree with. And so I practice as a nutritionist. I can do whatever I want. Okay,
so as a dietitian, you're meant to toe the party line.
Exactly.
And say that people require certain amounts of animal products. Is that right?
Yeah.
What would be the specifics, or can you expand a little bit on that?
So you are supposed to tell people to have their 2 serves of dairy and their 3.5 serves of meat, their 5 serves of grains every single day. I don't eat grains, I don't eat meat, I don't eat dairy.
2 serves of dairy. How many serves of meat?
3.
3 serves of meat. And how many grains?
5 grains.
Wow.
Yeah.
A day?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and the thing is, like ours, if you look at countries like Brazil, Germany, the UK, Canada, they've looked at their food recommendations and they've actually put a lot more plants in and taken animal products out.
Yes.
Australia is the only country where we are continually increasing our meat and dairy.
And why do you think that might be?
Lobbyists.
Oh, correct. Give that monkey a banana. That's spot on. Lobby, exactly. I've actually read that talking about animal agriculture in Australia, and this probably applies in other places in the world, that if you take away the government assistance, it won't survive. that's what's propping it up, which just shows how not only is it unsustainable in an environmental sense, but it's financially unsustainable in that as well. So
The other thing that I find really scary is the amount of meat per person that people eat. So in an average country, it's around about 35 kilos a year.
right,
Okay, so but as money increases, the amount of meat consumption increases. Generally gets to around about 75 to 90 kilos per year per person,
Wow.
and it stops
ah,
because it's kind of saturated. You can't eat
Yeah,
any more animals than 90 kilos. Australia is at 91.25 kilos and still increasing. We're the only country still increasing. The UK has plateaued, the US has plateaued, Canada's plateaued, Argentina and Brazil have plateaued. They're a little bit higher than us, but we are still increasing every single year on how much meat we eat.
this is a face palm.
This is the same country where we've currently got 11% vegan and vegetarian, but we're still increasing our meat consumption.
Wow, that is, yeah, I don't have a response to that other than the face palm. That's actually, it's interesting. You said Argentina and what was the other country that was
Brazil.
And Brazil have leveled off as well.
Yeah, but they have a little bit higher than us. We're the third highest meat eating country in the world.
We are the third highest.
Yeah.
Wow.
USA is fourth.
These are pretty interesting statistics. USA is fourth. What's the highest in the world?
Argentina.
Argentina. Okay, but their consumption has leveled off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had friends that have been there have said to me that it's pretty. There's meat on everything. It's pretty excessive.
I got told it'd be really hard for us to travel there.
Yes. So okay, I want to get to a question there. Somebody asked what were the benefits of being on a vegan lifestyle or a vegan diet. The question's disappeared there. So, so did you want to?
So I mean, there's heaps of studies that have come out. You've got the Seventh-day Adventist study, the China study, the Oxford study. Everything proves that being vegan, you're going to live longer. Your cholesterol's lower. Your LDL and HDL fats are at a better level. You've got high levels of antioxidants. It's just better for you. There's not a study that can come out and disprove that. So.
Especially when it gets to the point that 2 years ago now, when the World Health Organization
classified red meat as a carcinogen and no more than 500 grams per week, whereas I think most Australian men would eat that in a single serving on a daily basis.
John says the governments get kickback. That's why they give subsidies. Yes.
Yes, they do, but it's also jobs, and it's agriculture is what's propping our.
Yes, it would take a massive shift of psyche to be able to sort of change it all, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. Now Naresh asks, what do you suggest is the best source of vitamin B12?
I'm going to be really sciencey and honest in all the research I can find. You cannot, no matter how much nutritional yeast you want to eat, how much dirt you want to eat, you cannot go without supplementing B12. You can risk it. You can go a really long time. Like I went vegan at 12. I was in my 20s before I was deficient.
Yes.
You can go a really long time. But I have also met someone that had full body nerve damage from never supplementing. Like he lives in chronic pain and will do for the rest of his life. So it's not a risky game I'd want to play.
Wow. I think I went 20 odd years before I even knew that I was meant to take B12.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a long time, which is why my hair fell out. But the poor jokes still continue. So with the supplementation of the B12, would you say a spray or?
It depends. Like I've generally always used an injection just because I'm hopeless at remembering.
Once a month or once every 3 months or something like that?
Yeah, once a month. But I'm also celiac, so I went through a long period of time when my body couldn't absorb B12 through tablets. But now I've healed my gut and I can pretty much eat whatever. So I do just take a tablet once a week if I remember.
Okay. Cool. Now, Lorinda asks, Emma, how do you deal with negative comments from people being vegan? It's a good question. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you're still going to get it. People are going to be ignorant. I guess it depends on the comment. It depends on the context of what people say. I don't really talk about veganism or preach it unless people ask me about it. My friends all know that I'm vegan. So it's not really an issue from there. It's only you get some random person, but my stats, I know so many stats and so many facts and figures, and being a dietitian as well, like I kind of just throw science at them and it soon shuts them up.
That's fantastic that you can just hit them with reality, hit them with facts and that. Yeah. So if you're in a situation like that, somebody is sort of coming up with what their version of the truth, and you actually know the reality.
Yeah.
How does a person react to that? Do they usually try and become defensive, or do they shut up and walk away with a tail between their legs? Or?
I had one, a friend of mine recently went vegan. He went vegan 4 weeks or so ago.
Okay, yeah.
And he tagged me in this post because he had some friends on Facebook who were completely berating veganism. And this one particular guy was just basically making up stats and figures and saying vegans died 10 years before everybody else, and just basically just making up the crap that he wanted to make up. And so I sat there one by one, pulled each of his points apart, and then put the correct stat in.
Nice.
And then they just went, "Oh, you're part of the cult. All vegans are in a cult." And I'm like, okay, well, I'd like to understand how it's a cult. And he's like, I studied theology. And I'm like, awesome. So in that case, you should be able to explain to me exactly how we're a cult.
Yeah.
Oh, you just are. Awesome. That's a great academic response. I'm really happy for you. There's no fixing stupid. Some people are just stupid.
That's tonight's quote. There's no fixing stupid. I love it. And you don't tolerate, was it tolerate fools lightly or something? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. You hit them with the science and the facts, and if they don't want to, I just missed a really great question there from Spyro, I think it was. But basically, it was, how does being vegan? It says you're a wonderful advocate. Vegan advocate for mental, emotional health and whatever, but how does being vegan help your sex life? Not necessarily that you're talking about personal details, but how does it help the sex life? You can ignore that question if you want.
That's from the boyfriend.
Yep, that's why you can ignore that question.
Well, actually, to be honest, I wouldn't know because I've been vegan since I was 12, and I definitely was still a virgin at 12. So I only know being vegan and having sex. However, I have seen this discussion a lot in Vegan Singles Australia. And the vegans, they talk about it in there quite a lot. Not a site
I recommend.
It's really, they have good memes on there. That's why I'm like, they're really good memes. But they reckon that their sex life improves and the libido goes through the roof once they go vegan.
Again, I'd be in the same, very similar category to you. I went vegan young enough to not know otherwise. So yeah.
So I can't help you there, sorry.
Well, actually you have helped, because what you've basically said is it's a hell of a lot better in any case from what other people have said.
Yeah. Yes. So Spiro, when you go vegan, your sex will get better.
Boy, this just got really personal. I love it. The message that you just sent out there across the universe. That's beautiful. There's no stopping you. And Naresh says, thanks for answering the B12 question. Now, John's good comment from John. Meat eating is the cult, or is a cult. Which is, I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but it was in Vegans in Australia a couple of years ago now. A woman put it up there. She did it as a study. I think she did it for university, because they were saying that vegans were always pushing our point of view.
Right.
Always pushing our point of view. And so she actually went and did an academic study on the advertising money that's spent on vegan products, and then the advertising money that's spent on animal products.
Yeah.
And it was like 100-fold that they spent on, like, you walk into Woolies and you can see all the meat there and eggs and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anything is going to be a cult, 100%.
Yes.
Population controls.
You know the easiest way to prove that? Turn the television on. Watch the commercials.
Yeah.
Try and find a vegan one.
Occasionally you get them for bananas or mushrooms.
Wow.
That's about it.
I was just thinking, I was actually going to say, as an example, try and get one for fruit and veg, but okay.
Because I only know that when this lady did this academic study, like there was bananas, mushrooms, and avocados were the only things that were advertised within that 6-month period that she looked at.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, I almost never watch TV, almost never. But on the odd occasion when it's been, that's even better, because there's less temptation to watch it when it's not in the house. But on the odd occasion when it's been on and I've seen commercials, it's revolting and disgusting at not only the prevalence of animal flesh that's being advertised, and how it's all mixed in with people being happy and, you know, it's improves your life and all the rest. But the quality of the food is often really poor quality, as in fast food. So it's junk food in any case. So it's rubbish food in any case. And so it's not just cooked corpses, but it's even worse for you, you know, if that's possible.
Dipped in extra fat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. John says it's meat eating is a cult that involves 3 blood sacrifices a day. Brilliant.
I like that comment.
That's good. That's the second best comment tonight. And Andre says hello from Chile. I wonder if it's Chilean Chile. That's the best I've got. Okay, so
Dad joke.
I mean, I am. Well, I'm not twice your age, but I mean, I am somewhat older than you, so almost old enough to be your dad. Anyway, now, okay, so we've talked a little bit about your how well you know your nutrition and your facts and your figures and all that. What about your work as a personal trainer? Can you enlighten us a little bit on what that involves and how you help people that way?
So I was basically working as a nutritionist for a gym and running seminars and things from there.
Okay.
And I have lifted weights and trained myself for a long time, and they turned around to us and said, Emma, do you want a PT as well? We've got a gap. And I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. And then just fell in love with it. Yeah, so I love training people, and a lot of my...
I was going to say, rather harshly, you like bossing people around.
But the thing, it's really funny. A lot of people who've never trained with me, they're like, oh, you'd be one of those really angry, yelling strength. But even my clients are like, you're so chill. You never yell at us. They would have a tantrum and whinge. That's fine. I'll just put the weights up and add extra reps. But I'm not going to yell at you.
You just silently torture them.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The Naresh made a comment there. First vegan advert will be shown in cinemas soon in the UK or in Europe or somewhere over there. And Sarah says, Emma, you need to go on MasterChef and show the Australian population how to cook delicious vegan meals.
That's a brilliant idea, but I don't know, it's been tried before, but you actually get given, like, you have to cook lamb and you have to cook.
Right.
And so an acquaintance of mine actually was on MasterChef, and she's not a big meat eater. She's not vegan, but she's not a big meat eater. And she said she was literally forced to eat so much meat because you have to cook all the dishes and taste them all, and you have to know how to cook them. So it would actually be impossible for a vegan to go on that show.
However, having said that, there is, I think it's in the US, there is a vegan MasterChef.
Really?
Yes, seriously. I found out about it earlier this year, and I can't remember the details, but they do it. They've been doing it for like 5 years or something.
Wow.
Every year they do a limited number of shows or something of it, and they have a few contestants come along and do it. So there is that. There is also something going to be happening in Australia. I read a few months ago that they're going to be doing something here. I'd have to research it again to get the details, but it was along the lines of that, of doing a vegan version of the MasterChef, that they were looking at trying to do it in Australia as well. So if anyone's got any information on that, feel free to Google it whilst we're talking and share it. But there is definitely something in the US. The name escapes me, but I have read about it. So okay, so you're personal training people and quietly torturing them.
Yes.
Gently torturing them. Gently torturing. Very good. Okay. Gently torturing them. And as part of that, you're also probably sprouting the benefits of them going on a plant-based diet.
Yeah. Well, I think most of my clients, I think maybe all bar one, are on my nutrition plans as well. So some of them might want something really detailed if they're on like weight loss, or some of the guys who just want to get bigger. Yeah. And I literally either give them a guide or I'll give them a very detailed plan. And whether they like it or not, they're going to get more and more plants. I might not make them go vegan, but they're going to get more and more plants in their diet.
Good.
Even some of my male clients now, they quite happily only eat meat 3 times a week as opposed to eating it 3 times a day.
That's a big change.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And for me, yes, I wish everybody in the world would be vegan, but every little bit helps.
Yes, yeah. There is always there's 2 schools of thought there, isn't there? There's always the, transition or the all or nothing, and I can see the benefits both ways, because there are different personality types, aren't there? Some people will just go overnight and just bang, it's like, okay, I'm not going near animal products again. I can't stand the thought of them. And other people will need that encouragement to transition away from something that was their way of life. And so it's like, well, I've got to, you know, I can't quite, you know, and so and eventually they make the shift. So there is the two different, things there. So now what we want to talk about tonight, it's 8 o'clock, so we've got half an hour to go. So we can start talking about Vegan.Switch. So what is Vegan.Switch? Let's start with that. It's a catchy name, Vegan.Switch.
Yeah. So
not vegan sweets, not sweet. I'm saying switch, Vegan.Switch.
Like a light switch.
Like a light switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I think having been vegan so long, and everybody knows that I'm vegan, I would get asked questions all the time. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I find out about this? And even for myself, if I'd go and find websites for people, I found that you had to look in 10 different places to get the things you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what I wanted to do is help make it easier. So create something that's like an encyclopedia and a recipe book and a forum and everything for veganism in one place.
Good. A recipe book, a forum,
encyclopedia,
excellent.
Everything you could want to know in there. Plus, it's like my whole 21 years of being vegan, the fact that I'm a dietitian, and all the health and fitness stuff, all out of my brain and onto one website.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's taking me a long time to write it.
It would do. So it's an easy way for people to get any information they need, from recipes through to statistics, through to maybe some of the studies and that as well that have been done. Yeah.
And lists of docos to watch or
yes, documentaries, of course. Yes. Speeches, yes.
There's also a section that has, like, somebody asked about the B12 that you can go in there, and there's your nutrients. So there's a bit on iron, there's a bit on B12, there's a bit on magnesium, there's a bit on zinc, everything. What else is on there? So much stuff on there. There's a section on what makeup is vegan, what faux meats are good. It's bits of everything.
Excellent. Now, John says vegan encyclopedia, love it. Maybe that's what it should have been called.
It's long though. It's too long.
Yeah, it's too long. See, Vegan.Switch fits into Harry's theory of the most. Actually, we discussed this when we were discussing the name, because you did ask for a little bit of input on it. Vegan.Switch fits into Harry's theory of the most successful business names are 3 syllables or less, and I think that's just because generally people are lazy. Yeah. And you have to make it simple and catchy and easy to remember, you know. Yeah. So when you start looking at the big companies around the world, their names that they're using are usually, 3 syllables or less. So Vegan.Switch fits into 3 syllables. Unfortunately, the Vegan Hour doesn't. It's Vegan Life does. I deliberately chose that because it's 3 syllables. I guess you could say Vegan Hour. That's 3 syllables. So, but it's when you start looking and you look at all the car manufacturers around the world. Their names are usually 3 syllables or less. Most of them. All the big fast food companies are usually 3 syllables or less. Just look at businesses and you'll see that there's something I noticed decades ago. So now TVH, that's right, the Vegan Hour is TVH, that's 3 syllables. If you do the initials, or just leave the out and go Vegan Hour. So how do people find Vegan.Switch?
So the website isn't live yet, but you can register. So it's just veganswitch.com.au.
So I can type that in and it does exist. And you can register.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. So it's just a landing page at the moment. I've also got the Instagram, only kicked off end of last week. There's the Instagram account, which is vegan.switch, and also the Facebook page, which is also vegan.switch.
So, there we go. Vegan.Switch. I've got the web. Geez, that hasn't worked. Harry's getting good at this. So, okay, so I put the website up there. So there's a website. Did you say Instagram?
Instagram and Facebook page.
And Facebook page. Facebook page is
Vegan.Switch, yeah.
Vegan.Switch, yep. Facebook pages I have more trouble doing because it's not as easy as typing in I have to open up a different thing. So somebody else can find Vegan.Switch on Facebook.
If you do the @ sign.
Oh, yes, actually you're right.
Vegan.Switch, because I set up mine earlier.
Yes.
Hi, Lauren. This is my friend I told you who told me she's going vegan. I'm so proud of you.
That is excellent. Okay, there's 2 come up there, so we'll go on that one. I'm just putting the Vegan.Switch Facebook page up. There it is. There's a link to that as well. I tell you what, it's good to have someone that knows how to do these things. This is fantastic. This is really good. So your friend Lauren,
she's the
and
one that's going vegan.
excellent, Lauren. Respect. Best life decision you can make for yourself, for the animals.
She normally makes bad ones, so this is a good one.
This is a really good one for yourself, for the animals, and for the planet, because it's it's unsustainable long term. And that long term, when people like you and I, as long-term vegans, first went vegan, the need, say, environmentally, wasn't as strong as it is now.
Yeah.
It's really come to the forefront. It wasn't as imminent. That's the word. Yeah. And now it's really a case of animal industries are unsustainable. The damage that they're doing, to not just to the animals, obviously, but the damage they're doing environmentally has escalated to the point where we can't have our heads in the sand.
Yeah.
We have to make the change. It's like, do you want to still keep living on this planet? Well, yes. You haven't got anywhere else to go to. So,
It's like, it was really scary. Like 93% of deforestation is caused by animal agriculture.
93%.
93%.
Hey, I tell you what, if you want statistics, guys.
It's because I'm running this website and they can't just stay in there.
Ask Emma if you want statistics, because she'll just throw them out.
Yeah.
93%.
Yeah, I got that off the Cowspiracy website.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Cowspiracy, watch Cowspiracy for the environmental stuff.
Which brings me to a good question I want to ask you. Some of your favourite documentaries.
I'll be really honest.
Yeah.
I've never watched Earthlings, and I've never watched because after I'd been vegan for a little bit, I actually wrote to Peter and had them send me floppy disks.
Right, boy, we're going back in time. It's a journey back in time, kids.
So they sent me, there might have been CD-ROMs afterwards, but to put into the computer to watch, because I figured I should know this, and I was actually physically ill.
Yeah.
And so before the Cove came out, there was another like handheld camera footage video that someone sent me. This would be 10, 11 years ago now. And again, I was violently ill from watching it.
Yeah.
So if I watched Earthlings or if I watched any of those movies,
you'd be just,
So I've seen Forks Over Knives.
Yes.
Cowspiracy, I think, is brilliant. What the Health is brilliant.
Yes.
I actually watched it with a pen and paper and took notes, and I want to do it again because I swear there's some stuff I missed. But yeah, Netflix has got an amazing bunch of docos on there. Yeah,
well, even the fictitious movie Okja.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. The Greatest Speech Ever by Gary Rofsky.
Yes.
I think everybody should watch. It's long, so make sure you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But he just addresses all of those points. When that person asked before, how will you debate with people who argue against veganism? Watch that speech. It will give you all the comebacks you need.
Yes, that's a good point. Ashley says hello from Merrimack, all the way up the road there. It's not far away at all.
Hi Ash, hi Liv.
And Peter says, saw a stat today that by 2021, 50% of the milk industry will be plant-based milks.
Yeah, well, they have saying that a lot of dairy farms are actually closing down.
Yes. Yes.
Which makes me pretty happy.
Yes. I mean, I do want to say from my perspective that, and I've said this before, I don't want to see people out of work.
They just need to change.
They just need to transition. They need to refine the compassion that's naturally inside all of us, and go into industries where they can be acting in a compassionate way instead of in a violent, destructive, death industry. So
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we were talking about the environmental side of it before. So America has actually reduced their beef consumption by 19%.
Yes, I believe it's been reducing every year over the last 10 years at least.
Yeah, in the last 10 years, it's gone down 19%.
19%, okay.
And with all of the transport cuts they've done and energy saving things and all the other power saving, environmental fixes they've made, reducing the beef by 19% was the biggest. It beats all of them.
Yeah.
That's how much of an impact
that it has.
Yeah, but unfortunately with the Americans, yes, they reduced the beef consumption.
Yeah. They increased
chicken and fish.
Chicken and fish. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad. Do you know off the top of your head the statistics for the methane for animal agriculture's contribution to methane? because I know that it varies in percentage depending on the source.
Yeah, I
So-
think Cowspiracy, I've got it down as around about 62, 63%.
That's high.
Yeah.
I mean, that is high. That's very high. I mean, I've heard figures as low as 19% at the other end of the scale. So there is a big variation there. But it still comes back to an industry that is unsustainable because of the land that it uses and destroys, because of the methane gases, and it's not just methane gases though, is it? It's methane, it's CO2. It's
Yeah, so methane is what comes from cows,
Yeah.
which like gets changed. Yeah.
Yeah. So the methane is connected with the CO2. Is that how it works? See, I never understood that properly. So I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning. That's good. Harry's
So
learning. Harry's being schooled.
Methane is about 5 times worse than CO2.
Right.
So I think of the methane gas, it's responsible for almost all of it, but that works out to about 62% of the total CO2.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Makes sense.
So it's all those flatulating cows. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And one of the other stats, I think it was in What the Health I heard this one. It was disgusting. So pigs poo 6 times more than people.
oh, okay.
And so when you consider all those pig farms
Yeah.
and all that runoff,
Yeah.
and then when I did my research in environmental, I think it was like 48% of the ocean is dead zones, which is
Wow.
all because of animal agriculture.
Wow.
Because I mean, where else are they going to put all the poo? Just run it off, put it straight into the
Yes,
ocean in
well,
the water table.
you would have seen the aerial shots of the waste ponds that they have around the factory farming areas and that, you know, and it is horrendous. It normally looks incredibly revolting. And then also, I remember I was looking at some aerial shots that showed pits in the ground with the bodies of pigs in them that they've just thrown into pits. Yeah, it just. Scott says, "Wow, Emma is amazing. Thanks for your dedication."
Oh, thanks, Scott.
Her statistical knowledge is quite damn impressive. I want to find out more about these statistics. You're like a walking encyclopedia.
I have you should see the notes on my laptop. It's insane. If that laptop crashes, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I hope you got a backup for it, because if you haven't, you should invest in one. You probably should, yes. So John says, Emma, your ability to express yourself has improved exponentially throughout this video. Keep at it. Well,
was I terrible at the beginning? Sorry, John.
I don't agree that she was terrible. Well, no, you weren't terrible at the beginning at all. But this is the first live stream you've ever done, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously, as she's become more comfortable in the environment and with the format, you're
and the amount of vodka I'm just like sneakily drinking when you guys aren't watching. I had something.
I wondered what was in there. That was she's ruined my vegan life cup. That's actually, just for the record, that is actually empty. And there's tea in the Yana Yoga. There's tonight's plug for Yana Yoga. There's tea in the Yana Yoga cup. John said, I never said that. So, okay, Sarah asked a good question. Do you find it hard to go out to restaurants or social gatherings?
Not anymore. So if we go back 20 years, there was, so I'm from Brizzy. There was one vegan. I'm
very sorry to hear that.
There was one vegan restaurant. It was called The Forest.
Ah, yes.
And it's in West End.
Yes.
And the thing is, I hated eating there because I knew I could cook better food than what they made. Sorry, The Forest.
It's not there anymore.
Isn't it?
No, it's finally folded.
Good.
Yeah, this year.
Really bad.
Yeah, well, I've been told it's finally folded this year. It was there a long time.
Oh yeah.
I never went there.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of other people went there once.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this is somebody's not liking what I'm saying, but I'm just reflecting what I've been told. We sort of had the equivalent here. Did you ever go to? It's gone now too. I used to call it the poison apple, the magic apple.
No, I never went there.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I never went there.
Unfortunately,
some of my friends used to love it.
Well, it was a case of, in the early days, it was the only place that you could go to. In the very early days when it was Sweethearts, it was the only place, and it wasn't too bad. But they didn't change their menu in 30-odd years.
That's insane.
Which was good if the food was good.
Yeah.
You can go along and go, oh yeah, this is what I was eating back then. I can still get it now. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so places like Greenhouse came along, and Mandela's and Tian Ran, and it was suddenly like, oh,
This is
This
what
is
it can taste
this is
like.
what vegan food can taste
Absolutely.
like, you know, when I go out and eat. And they were still cruising along with the same nut meat sausages that they'd always had that were average at best, and lifeless salad and all the rest. And they finally just it died. So that is so getting back to the question. So do you find it nowadays? You don't find it hard to go to
I
a
mean, we're
restaurant?
spoiled. I mean, back
Yeah.
then, if I went out, I'd be able to eat hot chips,
Mm,
or you could get a garden salad and make sure
Mm.
there was no cheese in it, or
yeah.
a veggie
Or-
stack. Do you remember the veggie stacks? Everywhere you went, it'd be like layer of eggplant, layer of zucchini, layer of tomato, layer of capsicum. And that's all you'd get. And then put like a balsamic drizzle over the top.
Geez, I don't remember them either.
Oh,
Mind you, I didn't get out much.
that was like pretty much all I could ever eat if I went out for dinner. Whereas now, I think we're spoiled on the go. How many have we got? You know, it's better than me. What, 12 vegetarian or vegan restaurants?
17.
17.
If
Okay.
I can, at 17 fully vegan, 100% vegan
17
restaurants.
of them?
17. You want me to rattle them off?
No, I just
The
want
list
you
is
to
on the list is on my page. Actually, if anyone's watching and wants to know what they are, you just go to my notes section on my Facebook page. There are 17 that are fully vegan, and then you've got another probably 10 that are vegetarian, mostly vegan.
Yep.
Because in that 17, I'm not even counting places that are complete vegan food but have dairy milk for their coffees, right? I'm not even counting them.
Yeah.
So that list is not including places like down at Tweed Heads at yes, Glenlove or I was going to say Loki Cafe in Tweed Heads or Cardamom Pot in Southport. You know, ones that are all their food is vegan, but they've still got dairy milk. So I'm not even including them. So fully vegan, 17 places on the Gold Coast. Yeah. Brisbane has gone ahead.
I know. When I left Brizzy, there was just that. There was that one place.
Brisbane was Brizzy.
It was terrible.
I said Brisbane. Brizzy was so behind.
Oh,
you know,
so
it was basically Loving Hut.
Yeah, which is they.
And a lot of people. I like Loving Hut, but a lot of people don't like that style.
I can't eat most of it because I don't eat faux meats.
Faux meats and gluten. So it eliminates a lot of. So yeah, but I mean, I love it. But what else was there in Brisbane?
No, that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because then the next one to open was Green Edge, and
Green
that
Edge.
opened while I've been living down here.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was like a little revelation. The first Green Edge when it opened, when Amanda had it, that was like a revelation. I went in, it was very quaint, interesting, but it was a bit of a revelation. It's like, wow, it's like a small vegan supermarket. Talking about which, we've got one on the coast now.
Yeah,
Have you been?
I did. I went and bought a whole bunch of cheese.
Excellent. Oh yeah, they've got a good range.
That almond feta. Oh my God, it's amazing.
They've got a good range, haven't they? Yeah. It might only be small, but they've got a good range. And actually, Brett from Vegan Isle is on next week.
Yeah.
So he'll be live on the show. Yeah, Green Edge was like the cafe, and it was really quaint. And then they moved to their location that they're at now, and it's really nice. I mean, it's a beautiful big setup with the grocery side of it is really good. And and the food is fantastic. You've eaten there?
I have.
Yeah.
I'll have to agree to disagree with you.
Okay. and that's fine. You're allowed to. I love the food there. I think it's some of the best tofu stick thingies that are really fat. Yeah, but they were so fat. They were like an inch square, and they're just amazing. I've never had them that good anywhere. So, but we are in agreement that the best place to eat on the coast is Greenhouse.
Yeah, and they're getting a new menu soon, so I'm gonna have to go and eat all of that too.
Yes. Have you dropped into the new Greenhouse at Coolangatta?
Yeah, I was there last week. Same menu though.
Same menu, but hey, if you're on a good thing.
Yeah, I know, but they're changing the menus. So they want like new menus to go check out.
Yeah. So there's a good excuse to get to Greenhouse, or Sunday week to celebrate Emma's being vegan 21 years.
Yeah.
That is just awesome. So let's see what comments we've got here. So Casey says, Emma, you're a natural on the screen. You should do more of it.
Thanks, Kay.
You should have your own live stream thing. What was
I don't know about that.
Okay. I can give you some tips on how to do it, but okay, maybe not. But some really nice comments coming through there that you are well received. So that's really good. So what haven't we spoken about tonight? We've got about 10 minutes, so I just want to ask you if there's anything before I ask any more questions, or or if anyone's got some more questions you want to ask Emma, because this is her first live stream and you don't know when she'll be on again.
No, my only other thing is, because I know a lot of vegans are gonna watch this hopefully. One thing I do want to put on my Vegan.Switch website is reviews. Obviously,
Reviews.
I don't
Yes.
eat foamates. I cannot wear every brand and every item of makeup. I can't wear all the brands of clothes. So if you guys would like to write a review for me to go on the website, I will thank you and be forever thankful.
That is
That would
great.
be amazing if you've got a particular product or brand or item or anything you want to review for me. That would be so good.
They can do
I'll
that,
fully give you credit and whatever little link you need on there.
and so they can do that. Send that to you at any time.
Yep.
Through the Vegan.Switch website.
Yep, you can put it on the Vegan.Switch or through the Facebook. You can just message it to me.
Yeah, or through, because Emma's tagged in this live stream, so you can just personally message you.
Yep,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, and I also put the link in the comments there for the Vegan.Switch website as well.
So John's asked for you to do a makeup review. Sorry, John, I've actually already got Harry to do all the shampoo and conditioner reviews. So he's going to be a little busy.
That's good. That was really good. We didn't rehearse that one. I love it. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, I had to take another week off work just to do it because I tell you, it's hard work. Anyway, so I had a question I was going to ask you then, and it's gone completely because I can't think straight now.
Put another drink if you're right.
Oh yeah, what did we put in this cup? Oh boy. Okay. So what do you think? So we talked a little bit about what it's been like seeing the transition from over the time.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the future with veganism and that?
Well, see,
So-
the other thing I find really good with the Gold Coast is even places that aren't vegan restaurants or vegetarian restaurants,
Yeah.
they have a lot of vegan and vegetarian options. I think
Yes.
people are definitely becoming more health conscious. So I think you would have seen the thing I put on my Facebook a couple of weeks ago. I actually had 5 men who I just know randomly, however it is. 5 guys in the space of about 4 days all contact me and say, Emma, I want to give veganism a go, which is amazing. And it's not something I've approached them about. They've all approached me about it. And all of them were because they wanted to do all but one was for health reasons. The other one was for animal reasons. And so I think that's the big thing now is people are realizing how unhealthy and how bad for you it is and how much it shortens your life to be eating animal products. It's a carcinogen, and a lot of the evidence now it's amazing. It's coming out to show that cancer can sort of be prevented.
Yes.
I say that with
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but-
I know you're being very cautious in saying that. Yes.
So they've shown that dairy causes female-related cancers, so cervical, uterine, breast cancer.
Breast cancer. Yep.
Red meat causes bowel cancer, stomach cancer, and colon cancer.
Yep. What was the one that caused prostate
cancer? I can't remember.
No,
It's
I
definitely
can't-
one of them. I can't remember if it's dairy
yeah.
or I think it might be dairy because it's
Yeah.
hormonal.
Hormonal.
So
Yes.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if those products and eating that on purpose is going to cause you cancer, why would you eat it?
Yes.
I
Yes.
definitely think people are more realizing what it's causing.
And so, and well, obviously they are because they're contacting you and they're wanting to be educated on it because of health reasons. Yeah. So would it be fair to say that in the reasons why people become vegan, that is, do you find that's the strongest reason, or is there a variety?
No, I think with men, especially, they are more health. All the men I've known, pretty much, most of them have gone vegan for either environmental reasons or health reasons. All of the women I know have done it for animal reasons. So it's really interesting. Although once they're vegan, I don't care why you're going vegan. Just go vegan.
Yes.
I don't care why.
Just go vegan and stay vegan.
Yeah, but I find that once people say they go vegan for environmental reasons, like, do you know other Harry? Harry Turner?
No, I don't.
So he went vegan for environmental reasons.
There's another Harry. Wow.
Yeah, but he's like super compassionate about all the animal reasons. So I find once people go for one reason, they learn all the others. So obviously when I went vegan, it was for animals, and you were probably the same.
Actually, no, it was for health.
Oh,
For
really?
me. So again, the animal side came later.
later.
Although I realised looking back that I always had a great love for animals in any case. But yes.
Yeah, so that's like you learn other bits as you go.
Mm.
So for me, it was
Yep.
animals. I didn't believe that my life was more important than other beings' lives. And
That's
so
good.
why do I deserve to take 300 animals' lives a year just for my taste buds? I've never,
Yeah.
that didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
And so then you learn the health reasons and you learn the environmental impacts. And so now it's for everything.
Yep.
But yeah.
That's yeah, spot on. Kate, I've got a question there from Katie that says, having grown up with no vegan mock products, ice creams, cheeses, chocolates, how do you find eating them now after going so long without?
Well, let's just say that I'm making up for the 20 years that I didn't get to eat them.
Well, you're not having the mock meats though, are you?
I don't have mock meats, and I'm not really a fan of the fake cheeses, except for that diorama one.
Yeah.
But chocolates and ice cream, I think I had 2 tubs of ice cream last week.
Yeah.
And
Last week, not like yesterday. Because if it was
No,
me,
last week.
if it was me, it'd be like, I had 2 tubs just before I came here.
I'm talking the big tubs, Harry, like the
Yeah.
500 ml tubs.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy. That's what you have when you wake up in the morning before you're thinking about breakfast.
Yeah, well, I have a scoop, and then I'm like, that's really good. I'll have another scoop.
That's right.
The tubs are so little, it's just gone.
What have you got a favourite in the vegan ice creams?
Zebra Dream.
Yes.
Salty caramel, and then
Yes.
the lemongrass salty caramel. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Zebra Dream or zebra, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Yes. Has to be the top, doesn't
it's
it?
amazing.
Has
so
to be the
creamy
top.
and delicious.
It is guys, if you haven't tried it, it'll blow your mind. You can't get it in the supermarkets, I don't think.
So no, you
But
can
it's-
get it in quite a few. All the health food shops have it.
Health food shops have it,
So
yes.
I get it from Organic Pantry at Burley.
Yes, that's right.
And
Yes,
then
they
when I
have it. I was
lived
going to
in-
mention them.
Yeah, when I lived in Surfers, there's the health food shop on Chevron in what is that?
Isla Capri, yeah.
They sell it as well.
Yes.
Don't have
What
it.
you can get in the supermarkets is Over the Moon.
And their salty caramel. So good. I don't like the pandan one though.
Haven't tried that.
No,
Have you
don't.
tried the matcha?
No.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
You won't like it. I know you well enough to know you won't like it. But yeah, Zebra Dream, Over the Moon, Coca Luscious locally.
Yeah, it's not creamy enough for me. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste naughty enough.
Right, of course, it's got to be decadent. It's got to be decadent. That's
I'm going to
right.
eat something really fatty. It's going to taste like it's really fatty.
So you might have a couple of tubs a week or something, and that would.
Oh no, it's
No, that's an exception.
Yeah.
Okay,
I probably have 2 tubs a month.
Yeah. Actually, amazingly, I know people are going to have trouble believing this, but I don't have vegan ice cream on any regular basis at all.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I already eat enough other vegan junk food.
Yeah, that's the thing. I guess because I don't eat vegan junk food, like I cook everything. My naughty is ice cream, veggie bars. Veggie bars are no longer allowed in my house.
Veggie bars, again.
Not allowed in my house.
It's another one. It's just, again, it's...
If I had the great big block, I'm going to have one square.
It's impossible.
10 minutes later, you're feeling sick and going, why did I eat the whole bar?
How are you at a place like, say, Feed the Earthlings? Do you go there?
I do, but I haven't gotten past their cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I haven't tried anything else on the menu because the cheeseburger is epic.
Yeah.
So every time I go, I just order the cheeseburger.
Yep.
But they do gluten-free buns, so it's amazing.
That's true, they do. They're not quite as soft as the...
I don't care, we'll let cheese in the medium.
Actually, I highly recommend their veggie burger because it actually tastes less...
Less naughty?
Less naughty, yes.
But if I want a less naughty burger, I'd go to like Glen Love and get their burger.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's like all healthy and sprouts.
Yes.
If I'm gonna go to if I go to Earthlings, Feed the Earthlings, it's because I want a naughty burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And chips.
Yeah, but I don't like their chips. I just like
Oh,
burger.
I love their chips. Chips and burger, it's great. And then if you want a pizza, they have a pizza that's about this thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you get them, or you go down the road to Mandela and get
Or bootleg. Have you tried their pizzas?
No, I haven't. No.
Actually better than Mandela's.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a recommendation.
Yeah.
This has become the food hour.
The best vegan junk food out.
Yes. Now.
So Lauren, she wasn't feeling very well the other week, so I bought her a giant veggie bar to cheer her up, and she says she's now addicted. I'm sorry. I did warn you when I gave it to you.
Yes, and if anyone wants to know what a veggie bar is like on the Gold Coast, you can get them from the Organic Pantry. I think it's got them at Burley.
Yeah, they have heaps. They even stock them in 3 different spots in the Organic Pantry. And they've got little mini ones now.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think they've got them at IGA at Broadbeach.
Yeah, they've got
Yes.
heaps of stuff in there.
Yeah, oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. John has a sensible comment there where he says veganism is not just a diet; it comes with an understanding, and that's exactly right. The understanding is ethics, isn't it? So that's it does. It comes with that, which is why I believe that there's a difference between people that go vegetarian and people that go vegan. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because have you come across in your time being vegan, people that have gone vegetarian and then have gone back to eating meat? Have you come across that?
I have a friend who was vegan.
And went back.
And then went to eating dairy and then added in tuna, but now she's back to being vegan.
Oh.
And I actually sat down with her the other day and I'm like, you need to explain to me your thought process because I don't understand. How
the hell? I can't stomach the idea of eating tuna because of the revoltingness of it.
Yeah. And so people say that to me all the time, like, oh, would you ever eat meat again? But for me, yes, veganism is a diet, but it's who I am. Like it would take away my compassion and my love. It would it's such a massive, so many traits of me. Like if I was to eat meat again, I wouldn't be me. Exactly, especially with the fact that you went fully vegan at 12. It is your identity, your essence. It is you. It's just. We're going to start winding up shortly, guys. Aversion to not meat. It's because I'm celiac. I can't eat them. I eat them, I get incredibly sick. I've tried a couple, and a couple of them actually really freaked me out because they were so real. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't eat them because I can't. The drumsticks at Tian Ran. Oh my God, I had them once. The mock chicken drumsticks. I had them once. I mean, I'm not going to. I can't do this again. This looks like what a chicken drumstick would look like. Yeah. It's like, oh, no thanks. I don't need it to be that. Why? It doesn't need to, In saying that, when I lived in Asia, you have the Chinese where they have the mock meats, and there's one called mudang. So it's the red pork. So it's red on the outside. It's got the porky color on the inside. Oh, right. And all my friends would come over and they'd all have drinks, and I would buy that and the duck of the mock meats, and I'd just give it to them with rice and veggies, and they would think they were eating the meat. They wouldn't know. And there is actually one other really decadent treat. Well, we're talking about all these treats. That's the Kitty Kadumba's ice cream bar, which you can get from the organic. Have you tried that? Yeah, there's a picture of me eating my first ever ice cream sandwich. The ice cream sandwich. Sandwich. I like how you get sandwich. I think you left several letters out of that. No, that's what they're called. Are they the most amazing thing or what? Yeah, they're pretty good. They're incredible. Geez, so yeah. Two weekends ago. I got drunk. Bought a whole bunch of ice cream sandwiches on the way home. Sandwiches. Yeah, that's it. I've thoroughly enjoyed finding out about your vegan journey tonight and all the information that you know, and very soon Emma's going to be helping more people with your Vegan.Switch website and your Vegan.Switch Facebook page. That's the idea, making switching to vegan easy. That's it. Yeah. If you've got any more questions, I'm starting to wind up now. If you guys have got any more questions, you can still ask them even after the live stream has ended, because we'll get the notifications, and you'll probably get the notifications because you're tagged, so you can answer them or I can answer them. So easily done. Also, this Vegan Hour episode will be on YouTube within a day, thanks to my new fast internet. It's like, yes! And welcome to the age of NBN. It's finally happened. Now, before I go, and before we say our goodbyes, next week, episode 39, we mentioned earlier that Brett Page from the Vegan Isle Supermarket, which is the Gold Coast's first vegan supermarket, he is on the show, and he had the grand opening last, what day was it? It was a big weekend. It was Saturday afternoon. He had the grand opening. The place was packed. There were lots of food samples. You didn't get a chance to go along for the grand opening? I wasn't there for the grand opening. But it was really cool. Week before. Make a day of it. Go down, because you've got Sozo across the road. You've got Authenticity right next door, and you've got the grocery store there. That's what I did. I went for lunch, and then I went for dessert, and then I went and bought groceries. Brilliant. Yeah. Yes, it's become Stewart Street in Tweed Heads has become the Vegan Street. They're going to rename it. I think there was a spray paint the word vegan, Vegan Street, because you've got Sozo, which I'm having a vegan life lunch at next. Actually, this Sunday I'm having a vegan life lunch. The only reason I didn't mention it at the beginning is because it's booked out. Why are you not coming to Melbourne?
Oh, it's too hard to explain. I don't know. There's reasons. Okay. So thank you everyone for watching the Vegan Hour tonight, and make sure you share it and comment any more if you want to. Thank you very much for being on the show, Emma.
Thanks for
You've
having
been
me,
a
Harry.
fantastic guest. You've been really, really awesome, and I look forward to having you guys contribute again next week on Tuesday, November the 14th for episode 39. So until then, guys, I've got to get it in camera. Live vegan, live vegan and save lives.
Night.
And good night. Speak to you soon.